Hello everyone, my name is Umu and I'm React to the K's channel creator.
Hey you guys, it's Brianna from Classical Musicians React.
Welcome to our reaction to the highly awaited Blackpink comeback. How you like that?
I actually discovered Blackpink my junior year of high school when they dropped their Do It Do It Do. And I can promise you everybody and their mama learned Korean because of that song, because it was a bop, period. I just haven't heard anything else from them since Kill That Love.
I'm aware that Blackpink will be coming back later with a full album and another title track, so this is just kind of like a teaser to get Blinks hyped up.
And I've been hearing tea about this song and how it's similar to the other song.
And boy, have there been mixed reviews. Right when the song was released, I received many messages to talk about this formula that Teddy has created for Blackpink with Do 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 Do, Kill This Love, and now How You Like That. And so before filming this reaction, I was dying of curiosity and I did take a sneak peek of the chorus, and I can see where people are coming from both sides. This formula, you know what to expect, which can be either good or bad, just depending on what you like to hear in music, right? Are you hoping that your favorite idols, every single time they come back, to explore different genres and styles and experiment? Or is this some sort of satisfaction that comes with being 100% confident that you'll like the next comeback because of a repeated formula? I'm definitely curious to see what the comment section has to say about this song and other groups who do have repeated formulas. I personally do like repeated formulas to some extent, so I am very excited to dive into How You Like That. 3, 2, 1, Blackpink! Nice.
Classic.
Sounds we got some brass, some strings, some woodwinds in that opening.
I love the arpeggiation and the bass. Descending fifth sequence.
It feels like we're floating, because we don't have any very short, fast rhythms yet. Everything's muted and flowing. Here we go.
Classic EDM beat drop.
Oh, it's very teasing. Chorus part 2?
Like that. Look at you. Look at me. Girl, I'm looking. I like it a little.
Oh, kind of SoundCloud rap-esque with the Middle Eastern scale in the background, which seems to be reflected in the music video too, Middle Eastern aesthetic. Is this the pre-chorus?
Like that. I really like how like the arpeggiation slows down and then the beat just completely drops and picks up back again for the chorus.
Nice change of sample of the bass part, second time through. We're changing the rhythmics.
It's like a tritone sequence thing. It's cool, it's different.
You can feel this part building to something big. The energy just went down so much. Now we have subdivisions. Oh. Oh! Harmonic minor scale. This is tonic. Da, da. Oh, Phrygian? Why does that feel so goddamn quick? Oh, yeah, because it was 2 minutes and 58 seconds. That's why. Songs keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Wow. Like, I felt like I blinked and the song went by already. I do understand where blinks are coming from. We're like, yeah, this is a great song. It's exactly what we need when we miss Blackpink, is we miss this empowering, catchy vibe. And then I also understand for those who wanted their minds to be blown that they were disappointed with this comeback because once it started, they're like, okay, we know where this is going. I loved the beginning. I almost wish that they came back at the end or something to complete full circle. I liked the layers of textures. 3, 2, 1. Because you hear a trumpet, you hear some sort of low brass. There's a lot of reverb. And that swell, I heard something that's kind of sounded like a bass clarinet. I could be totally wrong. I'm pretty sure these instruments are either synthetic or MIDI. 3, 2, beginning again. I like how the upper instrumental line and the lower instrumental line are moving at different times. So we've got, in the lower part, it's da. Blackpink in your area. Da 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 da. And while the lower notes are hitting da da da, the higher goes da 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 da. So they're playing the same rhythm, but their notes are changing at different times. So that creates nice harmony that isn't parallel when it moves forward. 3, 2, 1. I just really like the beginning. Da, 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 da. And that's tonic. Tonic is the first note of the scale, and a scale creates the key that the song is in. So whenever we hit this note in the song, it feels like home. I was really surprised when we did start the first verse immediately off with such a gentle, smooth, flowy line. Because we've got to have some sort of energy change throughout the song, right? So when we start off, it's really hard hitting and it grabs our attention, and then we go to a lower energy, and we don't have like the typical pre-chorus subdivisions in the percussion where you get a really big energy lift through da 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 hit. It just smoothly just moves into the chorus through Rosé's how you like that, because she's the one who's changing the energy there. You kind of know it's the pre-chorus because that's when the harmony comes in the vocals. Yeah, a lot of the energy is coming from her, not the instrumentals. Though we do have a rising synth here. And then this is the formula, right? We have a catchy single phrase said, and then like a bada bing, bada boom is the answer, or something in the instrumental fills up the space. So this is the post-chorus. So this is when the I can't tell if it's Phrygian or just harmonic minor. The connections to Boom Baya through this section, I know a lot of blinks were pointing that out. It's because the use of scale degrees of the scale in the background. Boom Baya is like, and then this is also, so it's like similar rhythm and similar usage of scale degrees of the scale. Okay, time to call Brianna and discuss. Yeah, okay, I'm curious just right off the bat, what are your thoughts? Because you were a huge fan. Did you like Do 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 or Kill This Love better?
Do 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 Do. Mm-hmm. That's, yeah, pop. I remember that was like the start of K-pop, like for real. Like that was when people were like, it was trendy to like K-pop.
I see. Okay, and then your thoughts on this song?
It reminded me of Kill This Love.
And
it really sucked. I heard so they did this thing, was like da 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 da. Yeah. And it was the exact same rhythm of do 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 do. Now looking back at it, that's why people say it's so similar. Do 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 do. It's do 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 is kind of like the subdivision within the do 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 do, because if you subdivide the do 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 da 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 do 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 do. So if you if you subdivide da 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 da, you get do 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 do, and that's why people are saying that's similar. But I thought it was kind of just like paying homage to their songs, like to their old songs. So I was like, so I didn't see that as like ripping off. I just thought it was kind of like they were like hinting at do 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 do, which I thought was cute. But people, I saw the comments and I was like, ooh.
Lots of, I can see both point of views, because I think a lot of people also didn't like Kill This Love for first few listens because they felt like the drop wasn't hard hitting enough. And I think it's because we moved from this very luscious harmonic spot in the pre-chorus to just tonic prolongation, and it kind of becomes stagnant in that way, where we don't have like a lot of movement going on, right? We just got bam, bam in the bass, and then da 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 da, like very spacious, repeated, shouted, catchy phrase. About now, there's something so satisfying, okay, so in the hook where we had this synth that sometimes just did its own rhythms, and then it moved into unison, melodic and rhythmic unison with the voice, which is like the how you let the. So it's like da 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 da, just an octave below the actual vocals. There's something so satisfying about instrumentals just totally ignoring the vocal line, and then suddenly moving in unison, in complete unison, and then breaking off again.
I think why Kill This Love sounded so similar, it was because the beat, like, I don't know what the bass beat that they use sounds exactly like the bass beat that they use in Kill This Love. And it's like a type of like synthesized, like electronic beat that he used, and it was exactly the same. And are they in the same key? The key sounded really similar.
Okay, let's check this out. Kill This Love is in D. And How You Like That is just a half step up. So there's some sort of similarity there, just tone-wise.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I mean, this is a formula that I do enjoy. Like, I totally understand those who felt completely let down by this, but I also understand those who are super hyped by it. I personally, I do enjoy this. I think what draws me to Blackpink music, even though it is catchy, it is trendy, but I just love their use of modes so much. I love that, like, that giant orchestral beginning. And I love the timbre of their voices, and it's high production in my mind. Like, I know there are many who may disagree.
And it's like, it's just a hype song, and I feel like that's what their brand is. Not brand, but just necessary. They make songs that are fun and like people are gonna dance to, and like that's them. And I feel like, I don't know, people say a lot of jazz music sounds the same, and it's like because they use the same 12 blues form and they just put a different hook on top of it, and like, but does that take away from how they like add their little nuances to it, and does that take away from them being as artists? I don't think it does, because at the end of the day they're delivering a performance that is in essence just as good as their last one.
Right. And yeah, looking at the full package too, because I remember when I did take a sneak preview of this song, it was just the chorus, and I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm gonna like that. But then just listening to the whole song as a whole package, I really do like it. But yeah, last thing that I wanted to touch on is that in both the video and the song, it's a marriage of cultures, right? We've got like the SoundCloud rap-esque track, hip hop and EDM, and then in the video we had some Asian clothes cut up to be super modern and cool looking, as well as some Middle Eastern aesthetics. And I know some people love cultures clashing like this. So I'm also curious, people in the comment section, do you also love the joining of cultures, or is it offensive for some of those cultures to be used in music videos without any more explanation? I don't know. It's just something that I'd like to talk more about on this channel. Is cultural appropriation like totally dismissive? Is it fine? Is it great to be sharing cultures, or is it something that we should talk about more? Is it something that we should educate ourselves about more? I'm curious what everyone thinks.
It's super weird. Yeah, and I was reading the comments from our last video where we talked about cultural appropriation. It was like mixed, and I feel like some people like missed what I said, misread what I heard, or misheard what I had said.
They skipped around and then typed.
Yeah, and like, I didn't mean that nobody should use, like, I'm not saying don't use the beat. See, and if you just use that part of this conversation,
right,
be like, oh, they should, But I'm saying that you should. I feel like, I feel as though you should showcase different cultures and like recognize that, and if you're paying homage to them, but I just think you should highlight that in a way, or like try to educate your fans. And like and even if you don't know, okay, you don't know, you know, but if you do and like you do it intentionally, I feel like that's something you should outright say. Like Beyonce, she pulled inspiration from like Indian culture a lot, and she would talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's okay if you don't know and you just, yeah. But that's another thing. Is it okay to be ignorant?
Yeah, we'll for sure have a conversation about it.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm hoping to put together a panel and just talk about it. Like, not pointing fingers, nothing derogatory, nothing negative, but just a general like discussion about cultural appropriation in music, because a lot of K-pop is based off of Black music. A lot of K-pop is taken from Middle Eastern scales like Phrygian, and then also Western scales like major and minor. Like, that's music, right? And then they pull from their own pentatonic. You know, it's just a lot to talk about, and I would love to talk about it more on here. So
yeah.
Woo! Looking
Yay.
forward to Blackpink's comeback album. There's crashing. The crashing is also excited in the background of Brianna's video to welcome Blackpink back.
Oh, wait, I'm so when was the last time they dropped an album?
2019 was a mini album. This is their first full album.
They've never made a full album? So is it really a comeback or a coming?
Oh, we're excited to see more Blackpink.
Yeah, I am. I liked it. I love them. I stan. I don't care.
That's the attitude. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I look forward to reading lots of respectful comments in the comment section, just discussing what you guys want to discuss and sending everyone a lot of love.
Yay.
Bye. Woo.
Bye.